Welcome everyone back to another What If Star Wars video. I truly miss making these videos while the Acolyte show was happening. Even though I regret watching the show for so many reasons, I felt as a Star Wars fan that you guys deserve to hear why I disagreed with nearly everything that was brought up in this show. However, let's get back to George Lucas Star Wars because that's what we're all here for. And if you're excited about that, then leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel to never miss a video. Now let's get back with the video. We begin the story right after Obi-Wan has defeated Anakin on Mustafar and is on his way to Polis Massa in order for Padme to seek medical attention where the Empire would not sense their presence. Padme is resting on the table as the medical droids are analyzing her body to make sure her and the babies are safe. The droid tells Obi-Wan that with their advance in technology that Padme and the babies' vitals are stable. Obi-Wan says, "Babies?" The droid tells Obi-Wan that she is having twins. "Do not worry, our technology is one of the best in the galaxy. We will know if anything happens to her babies." Hours go by with Padme still resting and being monitored by the droids. Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Bail Organa speak about what they should do if indeed Padme survives childbirth. All three of them know that if the Empire ever finds out about the offspring of Anakin Skywalker and his wife survived the war, the Empire would do whatever it takes to find those kids. Bail Organa states that we should have a fake funeral service for Padme. Having her in a closed casket would mean that no one could see her. Once the Empire finds out about her funeral, they would conclude that Padme and Anakin's offspring did not survive. Obi-Wan says that Padme should be with her family on Naboo, as she will need comfort to be able to get through all this. Obi-Wan continues with his permission from Master Yoda to watch over the children to make sure nothing happens to them. Master Yoda grants this request as during his isolation, Master Yoda has training for Obi-Wan to complete. The medical droids enter the room, letting them know that Padme has awakened. Obi-Wan walks into the room as he sees the monitors and droids all around him, monitoring Padme's vitals and her children. Luke and Leia come out in perfect condition, however, Padme becomes exhausted and goes back to rest. The droids say her vitals are good and we will monitor her recovery process throughout the next couple of hours. Padme wakes up with her children lying on each side of her, resting. As Obi-Wan walks in the room, telling Padme that the babies are in good health. "We are planning on moving you back home to your parents to help you take care of the children. Bail Organa has just left to organize a funeral service for you." "Funeral?" Padme says. "Obi-Wan says that it is the only way for the Empire to not come looking for you if they think that you're already dead. I will stay close by on Naboo to watch over the children to make sure they are kept safe. We must keep your identity a secret from the Empire, as if they find out that the offspring of Anakin Skywalker survived, they will come looking for you." Padme asks Obi-Wan, "What happened to Anakin?" Obi-Wan tells her that he was unable to bring Anakin back to the light, that he had fallen too far to the dark side of the Force. The funeral progresses as a closed casket hiding the fact that Padme is not dead is carried throughout the streets of Naboo. Many members of Congress and old friends of Padme's come to pay their respect. However, someone from the gathering could sense something was off. Ahsoka Tano was one of Padme's closest friends during the Clone Wars. Being Anakin's Padawan, they assisted the senator in many missions against the Separatist cause. Ahsoka and Padme grew a strong bond together. Ahsoka could sense during the funeral that she was not in the casket and that this must mean she is still alive. After Order 66, the Jedi had to be careful with their surroundings. Ahsoka goes away from the funeral and sees a familiar face. Senator Bail Organa asks Ahsoka what is she doing here, as her life was at risk. Ahsoka tells Bail Organa she had to go to the funeral to pay her respect to one of her most dear friends. However, this wasn't her true funeral, Bail. Bail asks her, "What do you mean?" Ahsoka tells Bail that she could sense in the Force that her good friend was not in that casket. To that she must be still alive, isn't she? Bail promised Obi-Wan and Yoda that he would not reveal to anyone their secret. However, Ahsoka could sense that Bail was hiding something and decided to use the Force to read his mind. Ahsoka now knows the secret that Padme is still alive and that she was pregnant with twins. Ahsoka asked Bail, "Where is Padme?" To that he replied that he actually did not know. Obi-Wan and Master Yoda never told him where Padme's parents lived. Ahsoka knows that if she finds Padme, that she could lead her to find Obi-Wan. As Ahsoka travels towards the outskirts of the city to hopefully find Padme and Obi-Wan, she uses the Force to help guide her throughout this mission. She stumbles upon an old lake house where her connection in the Force grew stronger, as there had to be another Force user close by to cause this disturbance. Obi-Wan could sense this tremor in the Force as well. To Obi-Wan's surprise, though, he sees Ahsoka for the first time since him and Ahsoka spoke on Mandalore talking about the Council's plans for Anakin and how Ahsoka told the Council that Anakin was a part of Darth Sidious's plan as his new apprentice. Obi-Wan tells Ahsoka that it is good to see her, as he does not know how many have been killed. Ahsoka tells Obi-Wan that she knows what happened to the clones and why they turned on the Jedi. They were programmed to do this, she said, as they were implanted by an inhibitor chip that once activated, the clones had a hard time resisting the order. Obi-Wan asks, "How did you survive?" Ahsoka tells him that that story can be told another time. "I would like to see my old friend now." Obi-Wan for a second thought she was meaning Anakin. However, he could not bear to tell Anakin's former Padawan all the things that had happened to him. As they both head towards the lake house, Padme is watching over Luke and Leia. Padme was super excited to see her good old friend Ahsoka once again. She really did not know how many of her friends survived this attack. Ahsoka asked Padme if it would be alright for her to stay a little longer, at least until she hears back from Rex. Padme, with no hesitation whatsoever, tells Ahsoka she is welcome to stay for as long as she needs. Later on that night, Obi-Wan tells Ahsoka how important it is to keep this secret. If anyone would know that these children, being Force sensitive, were still alive, the Empire would hunt them down. Ahsoka understands and asks the question, what happened to Anakin? Obi-Wan knew at that moment it would be difficult for Ahsoka to hear this, but he decided to tell her nonetheless. Obi-Wan says that Anakin was seduced by the dark side of the Force. Palpatine was behind all this, including the war. When Anakin killed Count Dooku, Palpatine needed a new apprentice. Anakin would then go to Mustafar to deal with the Separatist leaders as Darth Sidious's new apprentice. I knew with Padme's love for Anakin that she would lead me to him. However, it was too late. Once I got to Mustafar, he was already gone. There was no way of bringing him back to the light. Ahsoka was saddened to hear this news of her former master, but the Jedi were blinded by the fact that a Sith Lord was in front of them this entire time, and not once could you all sense his presence. On Mandalore, Ahsoka told Obi-Wan that Darth Maul said that Anakin was in danger, become his former master's new apprentice. But the council did not listen. Instead, you kept having him spy on the Chancellor to learn more about his intentions after the war. Obi-Wan states that he wished he could go back and change the past. However, now we must survive. Those children must be kept safe. Obi-Wan states that these children are the future and that they must be kept safe. Obi-Wan asks Ahsoka if she would like to watch over Luke and Leia, as he had much to learn from his former master about the living Force. Ahsoka accepts the offer as Obi-Wan tells her, "May the Force be with you." For this what if scenario, I wanted to take this story down a different path. With the advance in technology on Polis Massa, these droids were able to monitor Padme's vitals to make sure that the children and her were safe. To make sure that she did not die at childbirth, Bail, Yoda, and Obi-Wan would set up a funeral service to make sure that the Empire knew there was no chance that Padme was still alive. Ahsoka would have gone to the funeral and sensed that something was off and was able to learn that Padme was still alive. Ahsoka would find Obi-Wan and Padme hiding on the outskirts. Obi-Wan would ask Ahsoka if it was okay for her to watch over Padme and the children, as he knew that if Anakin was able to stay alive, that Obi-Wan would be the main person he would want revenge on. If Anakin ever found out Obi-Wan was watching over Padme and her children, he would do whatever it took to reach Obi-Wan. Having Ahsoka watch over the children and Padme would allow Obi-Wan to gain more knowledge from his master Qui-Gon about the living Force and how to become one with the Force after death. If you guys stayed to the end of this video, I really do appreciate all of you so much. I really do like making these what if videos for you all, and leave a comment down below which what if scenario you guys would like to see next. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next one.